Hi, this is Victor Pierantoni, and in today's video, I'm going to be telling you a little story on how to use the power of meaning to completely change your life. Stay tuned. So I'm shooting this video on a pretty significant date in my life. Today is August 21st, 2016, which marks a very significant time in my life. So just to give you some context, this marks 18 years that my mother passed away. She passed away from cancer. She was sick for 2 years, and it rattled my family and myself pretty hard. She had this amazing presence about her. She was always lighting up the room and had more love to give than anybody I know. So the date is August 21st, 1998, which is the day that she passed away. August 22nd, 1998, it was my 7th birthday. I was having my party. I was over at my aunt's house, and we were doing a pool party. All my friends were there, my cousins. We were having a great time. There was not a care in the world. I was in a complete state of euphoria. And, you know, we're laughing, we're jumping in the pool, we're going crazy, and everything seemed to be fantastic. Now, a week prior, I'd been speaking to my mom while she was in the hospital, and I was talking about how, you know, after my party, I'm gonna make sure that I come by, I'm gonna bring you a piece of cake, and we're gonna celebrate my birthday here. You know, I just wanna make sure that I'm with you on this day. And so that was my whole intention. I knew that, you know, she was sick and I really wanted to see her. I care for my mom a lot. And, you know, I'm at my party, I'm having fun, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, today's the day. We're gonna go and see her. Now, when I got in the car with my dad, I noticed that we weren't really going the usual route to the hospital. The hospital was in Miami, and we were going complete opposite direction. So I was a pretty observant 7-year-old, and I thought to myself, like, all right, this is not the usual way that we go, but whatever. You know, just maybe it's a different route, I thought to myself. So we get to the park that my dad took me to, and a park much like this one, and he sits me down and starts talking to me, and he goes, you know, your mom, she's visiting your grandpa. Now, my great-grandfather had died 2 years prior, and he was from Venezuela, so he was buried over there. And to myself, I was thinking, you know, outside the box. Earlier, you know, a year and a half before, my mother had gone and done a treatment in Mexico for cancer, so I thought, hey, you know, maybe she's going and doing a treatment in Venezuela. I thought outside the box. I was as optimistic as I could possibly be, because I've always been that way. And my dad started talking to me. I'm like, oh, so she's in Venezuela, she's getting a treatment. And he's like, no, that's not it. And in a moment, in a day that I had been experiencing all this euphoria on my 7th birthday, everything came crashing down, because I got it. And it's interesting how in life sometimes we could be having the best time of our lives, and all of a sudden something happens and that all crumbles to the ground. And that was the experience that I was having. So both me and my dad were crying. Very emotional time. You know, we were hugging each other. We didn't know what to do. You know, he had just lost the woman who was the love of his life. I had just lost my mother in that moment, or found out about it, and I was crushed. And I started asking questions, and you know how the state is when you're in a bad state or something bad happens, you start asking yourself more questions than you could possibly answer. What are we gonna do? Why did this happen? And I started asking questions like that, and out of nowhere, one of my questions was, well, who's gonna cook for us? And he's like, don't worry, you know, like, we'll figure it out. I can make stuff, whatever. And then at that moment, something in me just switched. And I don't know what it was, but then I popped my head up, completely out of tears, with a big smile on my face, and I said, yes, and I can make hot dogs. And my dad was shocked. He didn't know what to say, but he started laughing. Because in that moment, that was the only food that I knew how to make, by the way, but in that moment, I had just changed my state. And I realized how quickly I could change his state, and how just my effect could, you know, the power of the effect that I had on other people. I knew that I can change somebody from a state of complete tears and tragedy into, you know, one of hope, one of possibility. And that's where I learned that in that state. So I tell you this story because at that moment, I learned why I do what I do. I learned why I'm bringing these videos to you, why I write the books that I write, why I coach daily and speak in front of people to help them change their lives. Because The meaning that we associate to things ultimately dictates how we feel about things, how we make decisions. And the meaning that I associated to this experience in my life for a long time was that of victimization. Why did this happen to me? Why did I lose my mother? You know, why, like, how come this had to happen to me? And it was the worst day of my life, and rightfully so. For anybody, losing somebody that they truly love could be the worst day of your life. But the real magic in life comes when you turn the worst day of your life into the best day of your life. So the old meaning that I had was, why did this happen to me? You know, my mother left me, she died, whatever you want to say, whatever meanings of victimization people can come up with, I had them all. And then one day, I decided that that was not the day that I lost my mother. That was the day that I let her go out of her suffering. Because I still remember the last moment that I saw her, where I gave her a kiss on her forehead. And to me, it was like an unconscious way of telling her, it's okay. You can be out of your suffering. So the power of meaning, the power of how we define things, shapes our reality. It shapes the way we make all of our decisions. Understanding that this was a gift, that this is the day that I unlocked part of my purpose and the ability to help change somebody's state like that, there was a massive gift there. It was the gift that my mother gave me, and I appreciate all the time that I had with her. And it's important to understand that even through the pain, there are always gifts in life. Instead of, why is this happening to me? What if this is happening for me? What if there's a gift here? What is the gift here, and how can I use it? The power of meaning defines and shapes our reality completely. You cannot change what happened. You cannot change the fact that my mother passed away when I was younger. However, I can change what it means to me. I can choose to define it in a specific way. So if there's anybody out there who has lost somebody or who is going through a hard time, the reason why you're suffering through this time is because part of you believes that this shouldn't be happening, that this shouldn't have happened. And when you attach that association that something shouldn't have happened, that's when it's going to ultimately disempower you. The story or the belief may be true, but even if it's true, if it's not making your life any better, if it's destructive in your life, then it doesn't matter. What's important is that you choose the meaning. You choose a meaning that's empowering for yourself, and not thinking that something shouldn't have happened, but creating an empowering meaning by focusing on what the gift is in that situation. For myself and my mom, that moment that I had with my father, where I was able to make him smile in possibly the most tragic moment of his life and mine, and I was able to change our states simply by asking a new question, breaking his pattern, and telling him that I could make hot dogs because that was the only food that I knew how to make. It showed him that it was going to be okay, that there was strength, there was support, and that no matter what, we were going to get through it. So rather than thinking something shouldn't have happened, start asking yourself what the gift is and how you can use the meaning, or how you can create an empowering meaning out of this. Because even if the meaning is true, you're fully within your right to be sad. You're fully within your right to be pissed off or angry that something happened that obviously you didn't want to happen, that it shouldn't have happened. But just because you think it shouldn't have happened doesn't mean that that meaning is going to serve your life. You want to move away from saying this shouldn't have happened and move into asking yourself what the gift is and creating an empowering meaning for yourself so that it's not destructive in your life, so that you can move forward and uncover the purpose that is even deeper than the pain. Thank you for watching. It's been a privilege to share this story with you. And it's my hope that it touches your life. And if you're going through a hard time, or if you've had a tragedy of some sort in your life and you're thinking to yourself that it shouldn't have happened, I'm not saying that it's not okay to feel that. You're fully within your right to do so. But the question you want to ask yourself is, what do I want right now and in the future? What happened, happened. You cannot change what happened. You can change what it means to you, though, no matter what it is. There is always a purpose deeper than our pain. So if this video helped or added value to your life, please like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, leave a comment at breakthroughtovictory.com.